Now I know what this makes me remind me of, like you're a gladiator about to go into the Coliseum, destroy somebody. It's perfect for you, bro.
Maximus.
Maximus Decimus Meridius. What's up, people? Welcome back to the Dreams to Reality podcast. I'm your host, Annabelle Rodriguez, and this is episode 26. Today, we got a three-time, we're actually going to be making a new belt. It's going to be called the Dreams to Reality Champ Belt, and he's actually the current recipient of it.
Cortez,
three-time champ of Dreams to Reality podcast guest. We have a full-time mixed martial artist and part-time assassin. He's currently 7-0 in his MMA career, and this guy has a really, really bright future in the fighting world. So make sure you guys check him out. He's a 4-time Spar Star Featherweight Champion, 2-time state featherweight champion, and his newest belt, he's the EFL Lightweight Champion. Please help me welcome back the great Tony, the Conqueror, Cortez.
What's up, people?
What's up, Tony? How you doing, brother?
Good, you?
I'm doing great, man. Welcome back to the show. It's been a minute.
Yeah. It's been a while, huh?
Every time you come to the show, you add belts to your repertoire. I know we were talking the first time you came on, you had 1 belt. Second time you had 2 belts, and then this time now you have 7 belts. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, it is pretty.
So
crazy.
you've been winning, and this podcast is for winners. So that's why you're always welcome here, man. So I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day. I know you've been training like crazy. You just came off of a championship win. So yeah, man, what have you been up to since the win? You've been celebrating, or are you back in training? What's going on?
Got tatted, had a little break, got to eat a little bit, enjoy life, partied right after my fight.
All right.
Now I'm getting back straight into training. So
how long did the partying last? Just a few hours, and then you're back into training?
Basically, bro, I was back in the gym on Monday.
And then the fight was on a Saturday, no?
Yeah.
So you had like 2 days of downtime, get to eat a little bit of whatever you want.
Yep.
Get to have a little bit of fun, relax, and then you're back on track.
Well, fuck, I'm eating a lot right now, so.
I saw on your Instagram that you said that you're going to be coming into your next fight looking different. So you're looking to pack on some more muscle, or what are you trying to do?
You just gotta wait and see, dog.
Oh, damn, the anticipation, bro.
Nah, I'm just playing. I'm gonna just come in shredded. This fight, I went up a weight class 10 pounds.
Okay.
And took the belt. Now I'm going back down to my regular weight class, and I'm gonna look different. I'm not gonna come in like I took this fight lightly, bro. I was like, this kid's not gonna do anything to me. Although he did take me down, the only guy to take me down, but other than that, it was just easy work.
Oh, okay. So now it makes a little bit more sense to me. I was going to ask you that because I saw the weigh-ins, the face-off between you and the last guy you fought. So your normal weight class is featherweight, right?
Yes, sir.
What's the weight on that? How many
145.
pounds? 145. So lightweight is how much more?
10
pounds?
55.
Because that guy looked a lot taller than you.
Yeah.
He looked a lot bigger than you, too. I was like, damn, this was going to be an opponent for my boy Tony, but he wasn't shit, bro. You took him out in the first round.
Yeah.
I was pretty sick, man.
Hey, I told Francis that I was going to beat him in the first round. So
that's right, bro. You're like fucking Muhammad Ali.
I had to keep my word,
That's true. That's something that I really want to get into as well because, I saw that you came out on Michael Francis' podcast, and it hasn't been aired yet. So I was really curious on what you guys talked about because I really respect that man. For people that don't know who Michael Francis is, he's a mafioso from the Italian mafia, La Cosa Nostra, and the dude was making like $14 million a week back in the day. He had some crazy scam with gas, pretty much, but he's a very sharp man, and I respect his business acumen and also his thought process. I see him as a very wise man, so I kind of was interested in finding out how that came about. How did you get connected with him, and what you guys talked about on his show?
So I don't know, I might say this wrong or I might not, but I'm pretty sure that his wife is related to the promoters of 8 Fight League.
Okay.
They had him sponsoring the event with his wine company.
Oh, I didn't even know he had a wine company.
Yeah, Franzese Wines. I think that's what it's called.
Oh, okay.
But so he was sponsoring it with his wine company, and then I told them that I really wanted to meet him.
Yeah.
And I'm the main event and all this and that, so they hooked me up. and I got to meet him. And at first, I was supposed to go or do a Zoom with him, and then he had to do something. So instead, he said, okay, well, like, I can't do the Zoom with you. I gotta like lag on you, but you get to meet me in person, or we get to sit down and meet in person, which is even better, you know?
Yeah. I prefer that over like Zoom or online. You can't really feel people's energy as good as in person. You know, when you're doing the Zoom meetings. I know it's kind of popular now with COVID and technology and all of that, but I'm kind of old school when meeting someone. I like to get their energy, see their body language, their tonality, their facial expressions. Pretty much everything in person is a little different than online. And that's cool that you got to actually meet him in person. Yeah. So how did that conversation go? What did you guys talk about? Was it mostly based off of the EFL promotion and MMA, or did you get into other subjects?
So he helped promote my fight, and then we talked about my upbringing. We talked about my brother passing away from fentanyl. Yeah. Me doing fentanyl and how I came out of it, and you know, like how I changed my life after that, and how I approached the fights mentally, and who am I now as a person, you know?
Right. I just had on my buddy Theo, who's the founder and CEO of End Overdose, which is a nonprofit that's, you know, focused on ending overdose through fentanyl and opioid overdoses. And I was thinking about you the whole time, you know, and I even brought it up in the episode that, you know, that the reason why I thought of him was because of you, because on the first time he came on, he talked about that you were addicted to fentanyl and how your brother passed away, and that how that pushed you, you know, to change your life essentially and become a better version of yourself and ultimately become a champ and channel your demons into something good, you know. And that's what this is about. You know, it's about transforming your life in a positive way, you know, taking whatever life gives you and turning into something positive, you know. And in the Stoic philosophy, they have a concept of amor fati, which means to love your fate. You know, no matter what it is, whether it's good, bad, ugly, beautiful, you have to love your destiny. You have to love your fate, because what else is there? You know, if this is what I have, this life, then it's my duty to become my best version of myself in order to fulfill my purpose in life, you know. And if I don't love that process, then, you know, you start to get really depressed and start to do really stupid shit because you're not loving your life, you know. So right now in my life, I'm enjoying everything that I'm doing, man. I love talking to people. I love hearing people's journeys and stories and gaining insight from them. And you're one of the first person that you know, we brought onto the show, and I knew nothing about you. All I saw was this guy has a fighter's heart. That's, I remember specifically thinking about it when I saw your Instagram. I was like, man, I don't know much about this kid, but I can tell he's got a fighter's heart. And it's been a real pleasure seeing you just, you know, beat the shit out of everybody and get to the point we were at. And now that I've talked to you, you know, a few times, you know, you're very insightful and very spiritual. And because of that, I always, like I said, you're always welcome to come on and kind of share your journey as you grow, you know. So you've been pretty much destroying everybody in the amateurs, you know. So to me, it feels like it's time for you to go to the pros, you know. But before we talk about that, this last fight, you know, how was your preparation for it? Was it any different? I know you just said you took it a little lightly, and how did the fight go?
So my preparation was, I really trained only 5 weeks really hard, but I trained 8 hours a day.
Okay, so it was like a freaking full-time job.
Yeah, well, it always is.
Yeah.
But I made up for it with the hours that I was putting in for like because usually you train 8 weeks for a fight. And then I just put in extra time in those 5 weeks. And I had just came off of like a little injury, and it was hard for me to get back into what I was doing, because I went so hard for my first 2 fights that I had for those belts. Yeah. And it was hard for me to just get back in that groove. And so my preparation was good. It was I couldn't really talk shit to him because one of the other guys pulled out of the fight with me because I texted him all this crazy shit.
Really?
He was
like out of fear?
Yeah, his name's Robert Cota. Robert Cota, I still want to fight you if you want to fight. He calls himself Cutthroat, and my throat's really cut. So let's see who's really down to get down. But yeah, he pulled out of the fight. That dude's he's a bully. You know, he likes to fight guys that he knows he could beat. And
I see.
I don't respect that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I wanted to really take his head off, and I sent him a lot of crazy stuff. And
after he pulled out or before?
Before he pulled out.
Before he pulled out? Okay.
Yeah. I sent him a lot of crazy stuff, bro. I was like, okay.
Like what? Tell us what you said. Or is it not PG? Not PG? Well, this isn't for children anyways, but.
Bro, I said, like, you guys are probably not going to like my shit talking, but I was like, you're a puss. Bro, you know what he said? He's like, you're a dweeb. He's like, you're a meathead. I was like, bro, what is this, Disney Channel? Like, fucking High School Musical? I'm a dweeb?
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro. Like, what the fuck does that even mean?
That's funny.
I was like, I'll fuck your mom in front of you, and then
oh my god,
shit. I was like, you're a pussy, bro. I was like, you're not down to risk it all. You're not down to go to prison. I am. I'll kill you in front of your mom. And like, I was just,
Jesus Christ,
bro. I was really going at him,
you
bro.
let
Like
the demon out.
Yeah, and then he blocked me.
Okay.
And then he was like, oh, I want to look at other options. And then he goes and fights some fucking weenie. But yeah, he pulled out. And this guy that I fought, Weston.
Yeah.
You know, big respect to him because he took the fight. And he had actually called me out on Instagram before.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, I'll break your leg and this and that. And I was like, what's up then, motherfucker? But hey, he took the fight. He was really about it. So he took the fight.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to smoke this kid. Like, I'm just going to fucking smoke him.
Yeah.
And I was actually scared. I was scared of his jiu-jitsu.
Really?
He's a purple belt. He's well accomplished in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And I guess I wasn't as confident in my grappling. But, you know, tapped him out in the first round.
Yeah.
Choked him out.
You did a Darce choke, right?
Yeah, so it was a Darce in the beginning. And then when he rolled me over, it turned into a Mars choke because I'm on the bottom. What's
the difference between Darce and a Mars? Is you're from the bottom?
Mars is you're on top of them and you sit to your side and then you step over their leg.
Okay.
A Mars it's not really taught. They flip you over and you keep holding that Darce grip.
Yeah.
And then you just finish that shit.
Did he tap?
He tapped, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it felt good, man. I was like, he tapped. He really tapped. But I had the leg lock and you know, he said he was gonna break my leg, and I got the leg lock on him.
You're like, whose leg's gonna be broken now? Huh?
Yeah, I was about to break his leg, bro, but the ref stopped it because he grabbed the cage, and then they stood us up, and I was pretty pissed about that because he's not supposed to do that. But
yeah, so whenever they grab the cages, they have to stand you guys up?
No, he's not supposed to do that. They just, I mean, I don't know exactly what he's supposed to do. My coach knows, but my coach was pissed, so I know that he did something wrong. Yeah. I think they restart us in the same position because he changed like an outcome. So they just start us where we ended up, or they'll like give him a warning or take a point or something.
Yeah, that's crazy. So when you were in the fight, was he a challenge to you, or was it just, you know, another day in the office? Because I know you've been, from the last episode, you've been looking for a challenge. You've been looking for someone that's on the same level mentally and as well as skills-wise that you can compete with that makes you better, you know? Do you think this guy cut it, or was it just, you know, easy pickings?
It's easy money, bro.
Okay, so then it's definitely time. It's time for you to go to the pros, you know, because I don't see anybody else in the amateur ranks that can compete with you in your weight class. You got all the belts. You're undefeated. You have a large following growing, you know. So I think you're ready. Has anybody in the professional leagues reached out to you? Do you have any contracts out? What are your goals as far as that goes?
Yeah, I got a contract that's being offered to me from Combate, and we're just trying to make sure that everything on that is set and straight and good for me.
Where are they based out of?
I think Miami, Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're on like, I think it's Telemundo.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, Combate, that's Spanish.
Yeah.
You know, but you're a Salvadorian, right?
Yeah.
So you got the whole Salvadorian crowd that's going to be following you as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm Mexican, bro. I'll still follow you.
Yeah. Hey, I'm half Mexican, just you know.
just so people know, he's also Mexican.
Yeah, I'm half Mexican.
That's awesome. So, as far as your career grows, I know you mentioned that your coach is kind of your manager as well. Are you looking to get a manager, or what are your plans as far as that goes for negotiations and all that?
There's a lot of pros and cons to having a manager, like giving up 20% of your money or even 10, which is like, I don't know. I feel like there comes a point when you don't really need a manager, where they just hit you up like, hey, you want to fight this guy? And you're like, what's the money like? Yeah, let's do it. But I
Yeah.
really want to be able to represent myself at a certain point.
Yeah.
So there's no middleman that I have to pay for small talk and shit. Like,
Yeah.
I don't see a point in that.
Yeah. So, what's the difference in pay from going from amateurs to pro?
I mean, to start off, you don't really get paid much. But I mean, for an amateur, I make pretty good money because I sell a lot of tickets.
Yeah.
Compared to the other fighters, I make a lot more than them.
Yeah.
But to start off as a pro, we're gonna try to negotiate the most money I can get. But I mean, I can end up making some good money in combate eventually.
Yeah. So is it going to be enough to have the nice things in life, the fast cars and the house and all of that?
Definitely, dog. This shit, I'm getting that one way or another.
There we go.
My mom needs a house. My grandma needs her house.
There we go.
But first, I got to get my house so I could get everybody else a house. So.
There you go. That's freaking sick, bro. Well, I'm excited for that to come. I know it's definitely going to be part of the process. So as far as your spiritual growth, I know the last time you came on, you talked about how plant medicine had played a big role in you transitioning from living a life that wasn't on track to what your goals are, and how that helped you get on the right track. Have you stayed connected to that? Have you been growing spiritually, or how's that going?
Yeah, dude, I'm doing ceremonies all the time, always trying to better myself as a person, learning so much. It's taught, the last ceremony I did, I learned that heavy is the head that wears the crown, you know? And a lot of people have their eyes on me. They're watching me. Some people don't want to see me succeed. Some people do. And it's better to be a little bit secretive with my life, like with certain things. Cause
What do you mean by that?
a lot of the time I would always like post a lot of shit about my life, like, and just let everybody know what's going on with me, like mentally. And I would think of it as like, okay, look, I go through the same thing as everybody else, but look, I'm still doing this stuff.
Yeah.
Where I'm winning these belts and all this, but I'm just like you, so you could do what I'm doing or better. And but then I just thought about it. I'm like, what's the word? Like, just not putting everything out there is better. Like, not everybody needs to know everything about me, and I really learned that in the last one.
Okay. Was it that you were getting negative feedback and it was affecting your thought process, or what made you realize that?
Just anything that I say or do can be twisted and looked at negatively.
Yeah.
And, I just don't want that much. I don't want to expose myself,
Yeah.
Which I'm not doing nothing like fucking crazy or anything like that, but just like, evil eye. People, not everybody needs to know everything about me.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that. And as people start to get more noticed, you start to get more fame, and more eyes are watching you, you also get more haters, so that's the evil eye you're talking about. When you have a support system, and you have supporters, and you have fans, and you have people that encourage you and like what you're about, it's a good thing that they know, what your life is about and who you are. But also, as you get more and more popular and you get more and more eyes on you, it's just human nature. There's going to be people that are haters. They're going to talk trash about you. They're going to try to put doubt in your mind. They're going to try to put distractions. They're going to try to do evil things to derail your success. And being aware of that is crucial for anybody. And that's interesting that you say that recently you realize that you don't need to put everything out there because of that. And most people that are, successful and, famous, they are very private about their life. You don't really know much about them. And part of the reason why I started this podcast was for that reason, because a lot of the times when you see someone that's very successful, you don't really know anything about them. All you know is that, hey, they're good at this one thing, but you don't really know what their spiritual life is like, what their family life is like, what their friendships are like, what their work, what they do behind closed doors. And I kind of wanted to find out, who is this person? Why are the way they are? Why are they successful? And over and over again, it comes down to thought process, the way people think, and the way you act, and the way you are. And I see that in you, as you're progressing, you're also evolving mentally and spiritually. What are these? I'm looking at these
Bracelets.
the bracelets. Do they mean anything to you?
Honestly, I don't know what they mean.
They look cool, though. I'll say that much. I know some kind of Asian writing on there.
My friend Melissa gave me this one, and this is something I got at the beach.
It's sick, dude.
I was going to get Quetzalcoatl, but the bracelet wasn't as cool as this one.
That's the Aztec god or something?
Yeah.
That's cool. Do you practice any religion?
Honestly, I believe that Jesus is God, but
yeah.
I don't really go to church. So,
because I hear you in your speeches talk about God a lot, but I never asked you if you were, practicing any specific religion. So what are your spiritual thoughts then when it comes to God and good and evil?
I know that the devil is real, and I know that God is real, and I know that I feel like Jesus is like a good way to allow yourself to forgive yourself, because Jesus forgives us for all our sins, and he accepts us into the kingdom of heaven if we say that he is God and he's our God. And I feel like the consciousness of Christ is my God, like love and stuff like that.
Nice. So you feel you could connect to that through those feelings and those emotions?
Yeah, and what's really made me realize that was plant medicine. Like Jesus came to my visions a lot of times, and I felt so like scared because I did some terrible things, and I felt so scared. And I'm like, how can I forgive myself and this and that? And then the image of Jesus came to my head, and I could see him, and I just cried out to him, and I asked him for forgiveness, and I know that he forgives me. So it gives me like a sense of peace in my heart.
Okay. So you have felt forgiveness, and you have felt regret, remorse, which are very human emotions. And most people go through those moments where they regret something that they've done and they feel remorseful, and they carry that around with them. And carrying that load on your back is going to affect everything you do, even if you don't really think about it. So that's good that you found a way to find redemption and find forgiveness within yourself, to be able to run free and go after the things that you really want to do. So I know I've carried those things with me as well, and I found my own ways of forgiving myself and forgiving others. And it's a very, very important part of self-evolution, is being able to understand, hey, we're all human. We all feel the same things. We all go through the same emotions, and we all have redeeming factors about ourselves, and other people have the ability to be redeemed as well. So that's a powerful message that people can listen to and be like, okay, I may have done some fucked up stuff, but I'm not all bad. No one's completely evil and no one's completely good. Mm-hmm. We all have the ability to choose and change the trajectory of our life. Even people that have committed horrible, horrible crimes, they have to pay. They have to, pay retribution for what they've done, but they can still, if they're alive, they can still find something redeeming to do with the rest of their life. Even people in prison, I know when you were, growing up, you kind of had a hard life. Your father was in prison as well, right? Mm. Is he still in prison now, or is he out?
Nah, he actually just got out like a week ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you talked to him?
We talked a little bit, not too much.
Yeah. Do you plan on rebuilding that relationship with him?
We'll see what happens, At the end of the day, I forgive him for everything that he did, and I try my best to understand. But we'll see what happens.
So your dad just got out. How long was he in prison for?
I think it was like 5 years or maybe 6 or something like that. But he comes in and out of prison all the time. So
Would you say he's like institutionalized, or
Oh,
what's
yeah.
the reason behind that?
Dog, I don't mean to put this out, well, whatever, but I called him on the phone, and I'm like, oh, or he actually called me. Fuck. Called me from prison. And
Yeah.
I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm going home. I was like, home? And then I realized, like, dang, this motherfucker's super institutionalized. Like, his home is prison. Like,
He said, "I'm coming home."
I'm going home, like, to his cell.
Oh shit! Yeah, he's definitely institution. Well, he's been in prison pretty much most of your life, right?
Most of his life, too. Like, I think the first time he got locked up, he was, like, 14.
Dang, that's crazy, man. Have you ever been to prison?
Me? Nah.
No?
Never,
Jail?
dog. Never. Nothing. I could have, but no.
Yeah. That's one thing that I think about is there's societies within society. You know, like we're in society, right? We're living here. We work. We do our thing. There's prisons in our country where there's a whole nother life in there. You know, people that have made mistakes or that just have done horrible things that have led them to a place where now they're prisoners. You know, they don't really have much control of their life, but unfortunately, you know, we have to have some kind of system to prevent some of these people from being out and causing havoc to society. And right now, crime is up like crazy. People are struggling financially. People are struggling pretty much in everything. You know, drug overdoses have gone up. Crime rates have gone up. Inflation's gone up. And it's a tough time, but tough times are always here. You know, whenever we go back in history, there's always moments of struggle. And in those moments of struggle is where we can find strength and growth, you know? So I do think that anybody, you know, is capable of making an error, a mistake, and ending up in prison. You know, like you're a fighter, you know, you have deadly things, your fists, your legs, you can choke someone out, you can do some crazy stuff. And who knows, something happens, you're out in public, and you end up getting in a fight with someone over whatever reason. One wrong punch, one person lands the wrong way, cracks their head, and they die or something. Now you're looking at yourself being in prison, you know, for a very long time. And most people at that point kind of give up, you know, and they become institutionalized, and, you know, they really shit their life away, you know, unfortunately. But there's other people that don't look at it that way. And no matter where they are, they're able to make the best of their life. You know,
Yeah.
The first thing is always survival, you know, find a way to survive, don't die. And then the second thing is to thrive. How can I thrive in whatever situation I'm in? I don't care if you drop me in Africa, you can drop me in a prison system, you can drop me in wherever the hell you put me in, whatever happens to me, there's two things I'm going to do. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to survive. I'm a freaking survivor. Not going to die. And then secondly, I'm going to thrive. I'm going to figure out, you know, how the hell can I make the best out of this situation in every possible way, you know, physically, emotionally, mentally. I need to find a purpose for my life. And the beautiful thing about being human is that we create our own purpose. You know, like I said, love your journey, love your life, love your destiny. And whatever happens, you need to figure out a way to make it work in a positive way. So anybody that's listening right now, whatever situation you're in, good, bad, ugly, you should always be looking, how can I make this better? How can I live a better life? How can I do more? You know, so tying that into your MMA career, you know, what are the steps that you're taking to make it the best possible outcome? And what is like your ultimate goal?
The steps that I'm taking to make it the best possible outcome is just working extremely hard, physically, spiritually, emotionally, just becoming the best version that Tony can become in every single aspect of life. And I'm not going to quit until that's done, you know? And we're constantly growing, we're constantly changing, constantly learning. And I think that's the most beautiful thing about life, is that you're never in a place where you're good enough. You can always get better. And if you were good enough and you were living your life like that shit would be so boring. Yeah. What are you going to work on? Yeah. What are you going to do?
Like, oh, everything's done. I'm just standing there, you know?
Yeah, I've got everything. Now what? Well, I think once you get to that point, then you start to give the wealth back to the people.
Yeah.
Knowledge, help people, all kinds of stuff. So, and I think the best outcome for me is, doing what I say I'm going to do, which is 3 or 4 weight world champion in the UFC, help all kinds of people, motivate, inspire, bring the consciousness back to God.
Yeah.
Speak against these things, because they're attacking children, they're attacking men, they're attacking women, they're attacking the young generation, like they're dying off from fentanyl. So I'm trying to spread awareness, and like it's real. There's a war going on spiritually, all over the world, with evil people and good people. And every day you have the choice to make the right choice, which is to choose God and choose to be a good person.
Yeah.
And I think that's my purpose, is to just help people do that and be an example. Not just talk about it, but be an example. And I'm doing my best that I can to do that. And I want the best thing for me. I want to make a lot of money, but I want to help a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I want to make a lot of money because I want to help my family and I want to do nice things for them. And that's where my motivation stems from.
Yeah.
And I want nice things, bro. I just want to have a nice house. I want to have nice clothes, all that. Like, I deserve it. I feel like I deserve it. I've been through a lot, and I overcame so many fucked up things that could have broke other people.
Yeah.
And I work really hard, so I deserve to have nice things.
Yeah. Yeah. Money is a tool. It's a tool like anything else, like a knife. You can use a knife for many different things. A car, you can use a car for many different things. Money is a tool that can allow you, one, to make your life more comfortable. That's the nice things you talk about. You can have a nice car, a nice bed, a nice home, a nice whatever, nice clothes. And those things make you comfortable. And then two, it's a tool to help you to able to help other people and impact other people. How can you help the poor when you don't have any money, when you're poor,
Yeah.
How can you help your family members when they're struggling with certain things? All the money in the world is not going to take away all the problems, but it's going to make it a lot easier to be able to do the things that you want to do and live the life that you want to live,
Yeah.
So it is a very important tool, and it's a very important skill to learn how to attract money into your life and how to grow money and how to keep it, So you have to be very wise with what you're doing when it comes to your finances and to your career, So you're still a very young guy, and you have so much more to give and so much to earn. There is a law of giving and there's a law of receiving. And the reason why you feel that you deserve it is because you've given so much, So if I go to work, wherever, I don't care if it's McDonald's. If I go to McDonald's and I work for 40 hours in a week, I'm expecting a freaking paycheck. I go 80 hours, 2 weeks now. Where's my paycheck? A month, they still haven't paid me. 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months in, I'm like, where the fuck is my paycheck? I deserve a paycheck, That is what you're feeling. You're feeling the law. I've given. I'm giving. And eventually you will receive the amount of work that you put in, but money it's a like I said, it's a tool, and it's a skill that you learn, just like everything else, like riding the bike, like whatever you want to do, like learning how to shoot videography, photography, mixed martial arts. It's a game, it's a tool, and it's a skill that anybody could learn. You don't have to be the smartest person in the world to make an income and make sufficient money to survive and to help the people in your life. There's people that have very low IQs that are very, very wealthy, and there's people that are super, super smart, brilliant, that are poor as shit, because it's not about like so much as far as intellect. There's more to it. It's also a spiritual thing. It's also an energy. There's a lot more to it than just that. But talking about what you were talking about, there's a couple of things that came to my mind. The first thing you said was, always trying to evolve. I had interviewed this girl. She's a 15-year-old Brazilian jiu-jitsu prodigy. Her name's Elena Krabar. And I asked her, like, why do you like jiu-jitsu so much? And she said, because I can always grow. I can always do something more, learn new things. I'm always learning new things. And that is what brings you passion, like always pursuing something else. Like, I'm always learning a new thing. That's exciting, You know, the reason why divorce rates are so high, why relationships don't really last, a lot of it has to do with novelty. Like, you get bored with the same person and the same thing, the same over and over again. You don't do anything exciting. You guys go to the same dinner. You have the same stupid conversation about the same boring things. The sex is the same. Everything is the same. And you're like, man, I'm tired of this shit, you know? Eventually, you get bored. So if you want to keep anything exciting, you have to have novelty, something new. You know, I don't care. What's your dream car, dude?
Dream car?
Yeah.
I want to be able to buy any car I want.
Good answer. Any car you get eventually is not gonna give you the same feeling. The first time you buy, let's say your dream car's a Lamborghini or whatever, you get in there, you're gonna feel amazing. A year into it, you're gonna be like, man, I need a new car. You know,
Yeah.
Everything you do eventually, the novelty of it goes away, that excitement goes away, and you have to want more. Which is why, if you ever listen to people that are pursuing things and are growing and are successful, they always want more. They always want to achieve more in their life. And that's what I see in you. You want to be able to buy any car you want. You want more. Another thing that you said, I'm trying to remember, we talked about growing.
I want to say, like, I feel like money is also an exchange of energy between you and whatever you're buying, right? So if you're buying, like, I buy Nike, but if you're buying Nike, you're pouring your money into, like, those factories with, like, fucking kids making Nike shoes and shit.
Yeah.
But, like, so I think the way to, like, make the middle class richer is to support the small businesses and, like, to really go to those kinds of people and give them your money instead of the big corporations that are always going to be fucking rich. And that's how you keep the wealth between each other and you just make each other rich, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think that's, like, that would be better, bro. Like, I'm trying my best to just, if I'm going to buy soap, I'm going to buy it from somebody that has a small business or clothes small business.
Yeah.
Like, I want to support my people like me, regular people.
Yeah.
Not fucking the Walmart owners and all these people. They already got money.
Yeah.
Why do I have to pour my money into Dove?
Yeah.
When the guy who owns Dove, he's got generational money, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to give it to somebody who really, like, needs it, that really took the time to prepare these things, that put their energy into making this soap, and it's good for you at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's more healthy than that other soap that's fucking, you don't even know what it's doing to you. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's a thin line between profit and purpose, you know. So a lot of the times people start off with a purpose. You know, I want to create the healthiest, best, most amazing soap in the world, you know, and then profit comes into hand. And they're like, well, I'm probably not going to be able to do that because it's going to cost too much, or, you know, nobody's going to buy it because of this or that or the other. So I need to make it a little bit cheaper. So I'm going to buy this chemical to put it into it that'll make it a little bit better or whatever. And that's typically what you see with these big, huge corporations. A corporation is a person without a soul. It's all about profit, making the most amount of money in the most quickest amount of time, you know, which is why they pay their employees so little. They pay them like minimum wage or whatever it is, because their goal is one and one only: profit. Make as much money as we can and keep the business operating. And the ones that profit the most from it are going to be the people at the top, which are the owners and the shareholders. You know, they're the ones that are making the real money. Everybody else is just, you know, a cog in the wheel of that machine. You know, you're expendable. You know, if the cog breaks, you die, they're just going to put another cog in there, another person, and pay them the minimum wage, the least possible amount for you to stick around. You know, they're going to pay you just enough for you to stay, and you're going to do just enough work to not get fired, you know, which is why minimum wage employees are kind of hard to find right now. Most places, if you go to them, there's a lot of jobs available right now, but they're shit jobs, and they're having a lot of trouble finding people filling those positions because nobody wants to work for that little bit of money, you know, doing all this work. And right now, what I've been seeing in society is is a lot of entrepreneurship. A lot of people are starting to start their own companies and one thing or another. Everybody has a side hustle. Everybody has something that they're trying to grow to make ends meet, you know, because like I said, inflation is up. Everything costs more than it did, you know, a week ago. You know, gas is up, food is up, milk is up. Everything that we used to buy, the same dollar that we had a year ago will get you less now. And in order to be able to even save any money, you have to have another source of income. So most people have multiple sources of income, you know, and they're trying to grow their business. And like you said, the way that is going to happen is through community, through us helping each other out, you know, because if your friend, your brother, your neighbor, your mom has a business and you're not supporting it, you're not promoting it, it's more than likely it's not gonna survive, because like you said, the big corporation, what they have is one, infrastructure, and two, a shitload of money, you know? So if you have an infrastructure and money, you can go a long time without making any money and still survive. A small business owner can't do that. If you're not making any money, your door's closed and you're out of business. Yeah. But a big business, they can go years without making a penny and they'll be okay. They'll probably have to fire some people, but they're not going to go bankrupt or anything. You know, they have a lot of money in savings. They have a lot of money in investments, and they're still making some kind of income coming in because of the amount of infrastructure they have, the accounts that they have, and all these big corporations. So, yeah, I think right now, as the world is changing and as things are evolving, we're going to see a lot of new businesses arise, you know, and right now e-commerce is a big way for people to make a lot of money, you know, because before, if I had a mom and pop shop, I pay rent at this place and then I sell my soap out of this place, and the only people that can buy that soap are people that can drive to it, you know. They just, in that little community, hey, I'm gonna go get my stuff from here, I'm gonna get my little stuff from there because that's close to my house, you know. But now you can do everything online, and if you know how to market, you know how to promote, you know how to create content, and you know how to grow a fan base and an audience, you could become very, very, very successful and wealthy doing anything, you know? Do you know who Andrew Tate is?
Yeah.
I don't know much about this guy. I've only seen little tiny clips of him. And from what I've heard, he seems like a pretty bright guy. I don't know what all the controversy is. Then again, I don't really know anything about him. The only thing I know is I've seen maybe 4 or 5 clips of him talking. And every time I hear him talk, I'm like, well, he's just saying things that I agree with. I don't really ever say anything controversial or bad. And he was saying that, you know, right now, you can become wealthy. It's the easiest time in the world to become wealthy because there's so much opportunity, and you just have to pay attention to the little things. And you being an MMA fighter, you have to pay attention to the little things of your opponent. You know, when you go in the ring, you have to pay attention. Like, oh shit, look at this. He's kind of fucking do this. He's doing that. He has this opening, that opening. I could do this. I could do that. Yours is very quick. You know, you got to think super, super fast, and you got to be super focused and attention. For business owners, you also have to pay a lot of attention to a lot of things. You know, everybody's competing. I don't care what you're doing. I'm competing right now with Michael Francis. He's got a YouTube. You know, are you going to go watch his, or are you going to go watch Animals? You know, why are you going to go watch his, and why are you going to go watch Animals? You know, in my videography business, why are they going to hire me to shoot a commercial for them and not some other company? You know, and my real estate and my property management, why is somebody going to get an office here and not an office somewhere else? You're competing, literally fighting someone. He's not going to knock me out. I'm going to knock him out, you know? And you have to pay attention to the little details, the small things. They matter a lot, you know, and people don't do that. And then they bitch and cry and complain why they're not winning and not succeeding. Like, you know, you're not paying attention to the little things. How's your diet? Yeah. How's your grappling? How's your stand-up? You know, where can you get better? Where can you not get better? Same thing when it comes to business. You know, go see your competition, you know, go see what they're doing. For you, it's watching tape, you know, or watching, you know, videos of your opponent and seeing like, okay, like you said, you were smart enough to know this guy's got a good jiu-jitsu game. So you got to be aware of that. You know, let's try to keep this standing up, or just be very careful when certain things happen. And that's how you win. You know, it's it's a dogfight, dude. It's a freaking dogfight. And if you're not the person that likes to compete, you're gonna get knocked out. You're gonna lose. And it's gonna be a learning lesson, but you can get up again. That's a beautiful thing about the USA. You get another chance every time. You know?
Yep. I want to give a shout out to B's Natural Store, my mom's store in Hesperia. Look it up on Instagram if you want to support.
Awesome. What does your mom sell?
She sells CBD. She's also a Ayurvedic practitioner, so she does a lot of treatments for people's injuries and stuff. And she actually cares about you, not like the pharmaceutical big-ass companies that don't give a fuck about your health. And
that's awesome.
You got all kinds of side effects from the pills you're taking. So, you know, be natural. Stay natural, baby. Stay human.
Yeah, dude. That's a whole nother freaking conversation about, you know, pharmaceutical drugs and, you know, vaccines and chemicals and all kinds. We live in an interesting time. You know, a lot of it is good and a lot of it is bad. But finding a natural homeopathic remedy to your aches and pains of life, a lot of the times is better. You know, clearly, if you have something that's life-threatening and you need medical attention, you know, you got to go to the doctor for some of that.
Yeah, there's some good stuff in Western medicine, but you know, most of the stuff right now is like pretty bad. But if you need it, you need it. You know?
Yeah. Back to the same thing I'm talking about, profit.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the times it's just about profit. You know, you don't need something, but they give it to you. Like,
they want you to keep coming back. So obviously they're not really trying to help you. They're just trying to mask it. And and if you stop taking it, that mask comes off, and then you really see what it is, that pain, and then it's not really healing you. It's just masking it.
Like, you know, the opioid epidemic started because of that, because of profit. Mm-hmm. So what happened was painkillers, which are opioids, were being given like candy to anybody that had any injury, you know, back in like the 80s and 90s and early 2000s. Even kids, they were giving them, you know, you break a bone, they'll give you, you know, some Oxycontin or whatever. Oh, they'll give you like, you know, Norcos. They'll give you all kinds of pills to help you relieve your pain. And they were giving them a shitload. And the reason why the doctors were giving that is because the pharmaceutical drug corporations were pushing them to the doctors so they can sell more and make more money. And they did. They made a shitload of money. And because of that, they weren't telling people, hey, these drugs are addictive. So guess what happens? You're a kid, you know, you break your leg. They give you Oxycontin for 6 months. You're taking it. And you just keep on telling them you're in pain. They keep on prescribing it to you. And then at one point, your cast is gone. And now you're addicted to Oxycontin. What do you do?
That's like what drug dealers do.
Exactly.
Like, they're the biggest drug dealers in the world.
Yeah. So now that you don't have legal drugs that you got a prescription for, you still need a fix, because when you become addicted to that drug, to any type of opioid, you get withdrawals. You feel like you're sick, you're going to die. Like, you feel horrible, and you want to do anything to not feel that. So you're going to go look for it. And what do? You go to the black market. You find, you know, your local pill pusher that, you know, he'll sell you underground pills that you don't even know what's in them. Yeah. And a lot of the times, guess what those drugs have?
Fentanyl.
Exactly. So that's another reason why fentanyl overdose deaths are up so high. Profit. The reason why fentanyl is so popular right now is because it's so cheap to make and so potent.
Yeah.
It takes like such a small amount to kill you, but it also takes such a small amount to make you super fucking high.
Yeah.
You know? So the reason why a drug dealer is going to put fentanyl into their other drugs is because they can sell more they can sell more of it, and they can make more money. So it only makes sense economically to do that. So it's like I said, there's a thin line, man. When you make everything about profit, it becomes a bad thing. You know, you can't do everything that you do for money, because if you do that, then you start to do bad things.
Yeah.
You know, and I've had to realize that, like, it's not always about just the profit. It's an important tool. You need it to survive. People say like, oh, I don't like money. I'm like, well, then give me yours then. you know, like, you need it. It's a very important tool, but it can't only be about the money. You have to have a purpose and a passion for what you're doing. and you have to provide something that's good to people, you know. So
This is what I tell people. I'm like, I don't like money. Money likes me.
there you go. That's called attraction, bro.
Yeah.
You don't chase things, they come to you.
Yeah. There's no amount of money in the world that can buy me. So like I deserve all the money in the world.
That's a powerful way to think, you know. Every what happens to things that you chase? They run away.
Yeah.
You know, but when you stop chasing and you start attracting, that is what you deserve. You know, you have to stick to your purpose and attract everything that you want. You still have it in your head. It's a different type of pursuit. You know, when you're chasing something, it's different than when you have a purpose and you're following it. You have a mission, you know, like this is what I'm going to do, you know. And when you start to attract, like the law of attraction, they talk about, like it's a big thing, you know, and, you know, you have all these gurus talking about, you know, the law of attraction and what is that? What's that other thing they call The Secret? You ever seen that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about the law of attraction. It is a very powerful tool to use to attract the things in your life, because it's a spiritual thing and it's also a physical thing. You know, we're all vibration. Everything is energy. Everything's vibrating at a super high frequency, no matter what it is. So just like a magnet, you start to attract the things that you want. But guess what? You also attract the things that you don't want into your life, depending on your thought process. So it's always in a state of mind of what you're thinking about and what you're doing. You know, so yeah, man. Right now, do you have any new sponsors for your?
I got a towing company that sponsors me. I have a realtor, Ricardo, who sponsors me.
Nice.
Chow Time. I want to give a shout out to Chow Time. That's my friend Max's company.
Yeah.
He helps me a lot with a lot of stuff, bro. Like he does my shorts and my shirt. And you know, we're building a relationship together where we're trying to help a lot of people. And
yeah.
Like he helped me make a video getting a homeless dude a haircut. And
really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Getting him a hotel and stuff. And then like everybody got a win out of that, you know?
Yeah.
When I post it, it's gonna get exposure, put me out there, and then he also got help, and I stay in contact with him and talk to him, and he says that I helped him a lot, so it's cool, you know. It's cool to help people. I think that's what's cool, you know. They make all this other stuff seem like, oh, this is cool, but that's not cool. Like helping people is cool.
Yeah.
That's like some cool ass stuff right there.
Yeah.
It makes you feel good, you know.
Yeah. It's funny because you know, a lot of times it's like I like helping people because I'm selfish, because it makes me feel good.
No, but it's everybody. You're not gonna lay your life down for somebody else. Like that's not loving yourself. That's doing like a disservice to yourself.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it out of love because you love yourself and you want to express that love to somebody else, then how can that be bad? You know.
Yeah. So I remembered what I was going to talk or ask you or dive deep into from the conversation we're having like 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I just remembered it was something that you had said about coaching. And it reminded me of something that Mike Tyson said, because now he's an older man and they were asking him about his last fight that he had with, what's that one guy's name? He just fought
Roy Jones
Jr. And he said, man, I felt good in there. Like I could do this again. And the guy interviewing him was, I said, have you ever thought about, you know, finding a young fighter that has that same fire that you had when you were a kid and, you know, and training him and developing him, coaching him. And then Mike Tyson said, like, man, do you know what kind of person you have to be a coach? He's like, you have to be an amazing human being. You have to be an amazing piece. Like one thing is being a fighter, but being a coach, he put so much emphasis in the importance and the value of a coach and elevated them so high. And it's true. Every time you find someone that's, you know, a master, they always have like a coach or someone that they like revere and look up to.
Yeah.
And it's an important role, you know, because you're going through your life and you're experiencing all these different things and you're learning all these different things, and you get towards a little bit closer to the ends of your life, because we're all going to die one day, you know, we're all going to expire. And you realize, man, I have this plethora of information that I've gained along the road and along my journey that I want to pass on to someone. Hopefully you have kids and you have family that you can give that to. But if you're in a special trait, a specialized skill that you have, like you're a fighter or you're a painter or you're an artist, sometimes your kids don't want to be painters. They don't want to be fighters. So they're not going to value the information that you have as much as someone that is like, has that passion for painting or whatever you do. In your case, you're an MMA fighter, you know? So at one point you get to that stage where you want to now start to train and develop other people. You know, like you have your coach, what's his name?
Joe Daddy Stevenson, Bobby Green, and Sam Mason.
Yeah, so they have, he was a UFC fighter before, right?
Yeah, Ultimate Fighter winner, season 2, and he also fought for the UFC title.
Yeah, so he has a lot of wisdom and experience that now he can pass on to you.
Yeah.
You know, and same as your other coaches have a lot of wisdom that they can pass on to you and mentor you. You know, is that something that you see yourself doing in the future, being a mentor to someone?
I was actually thinking about that on the drive here, and yeah, that is something. It's kind of difficult because I think about it. I'm like, okay, what if I have kids at the same time? And it's kind of hard to like put all your energy into other kids at the gym because maybe my kids won't want to fight, you know?
Yeah.
So I would take my time, maybe raise my kids first and then become a coach so I could give everybody my time the right way.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is that you're super young, so you can do it all, bro.
Yeah, for sure. But right now, I don't really have that drive to want to be a coach.
Well, yeah, you're still growing in your career. You know, you still have your eyes set on the prize. You have your mission and your goals, and I'm sure you're going to get there, man. And if the UFC or anybody in the UFC is watching, this is going to be the next champ in the UFC lightweight division. You do featherweight and
bantamweight champ, featherweight champ, lightweight champ, and welterweight champ.
Damn, 4. Why not 7, bro? 7 belts.
Shoot, I'll rack them up.
You're gonna be like Lights Out Tony from boxing champ. I think he started off at featherweight and he ended up at heavyweight. Yeah. But he just hated cardio. That's why he did that.
He was eating, huh?
Bro, I actually met the guy probably like 6-7 years ago. Really cool guy. But the way that he trained is he hated like working out, but he loved sparring. So the only thing he ever did was spar. That's it.
That's every fighter though. I like fighting.
Yeah.
I don't really like running or doing all that other stuff.
Yeah.
But I make myself love it.
Yeah.
Where it's like I trick my mind and think, I love doing the other stuff because it gets me ready and it gets me really good at fighting.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a win-win.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was him. He was like, I'm not going to run.
That fool got beat up though.
He got beat up a bunch of times later in his career.
Because he's not putting in that work. No offense to him. But
yeah. And also his style of fighting is that I forgot what it's called. It's the same style as Floyd Mayweather.
Philly show?
Yeah. So if you start to get slow with that one, you take a lot of punches to the back of the head because you're using your shoulder to kind of block, you know?
Yeah.
So you're always leaving the back of your head open. So if you talk to him now, he like slurs like a motherfucker. He's like punch drunk like hell. You know, sure he's got CTE. You know, he's not the same guy that he was when he was a young cat.
Yeah.
But in his prime, dude, I mean, he
was a beast.
He was a beast. And he was fast as shit too. He likes Roy Jones Jr. Him had a really epic fight. Mm-hmm. And he stood up there. He almost got knocked out by him, but he didn't. He he landed on his feet and stuff.
I like Roberto Duran.
Oh, Duran was a shit, man.
The guys that I look up to, Roberto Duran, Mike Tyson.
That's funny. You named 2 of my favorite boxers right now.
Yeah.
And you know who's Mike Tyson's favorite boxer of all time?
Roberto Duran.
Yeah.
Well, man, I look up to Mike Tyson so much.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait to meet him, bro. I have so much.
Same here, man.
I got so much stuff I want to tell him. Like, get him on the same page as me.
Yeah.
Because I know he's into the same stuff with like the plant medicine.
Oh yeah, he's done the toad and he's done ayahuasca and he's done all kinds of stuff. He's a very spiritual person, and I would be my pleasure to have him on my podcast one day. So I'm gonna put that onto existence. Mike Tyson, I need to have you on Dreams to Reality podcast, brother. I have so many. I've watched pretty much every single documentary on him. I watch all of his, podcasts. I like the guy. I think he's hilarious. I think he's lived an interesting life, and I think just as myself, he's evolving even at his age now. He's growing and he's constantly seeking.
Dude, how much heart does that guy have? Like all the things that he's been through. Dang. And now he's the person that he is today.
He's been through so much, man.
None of that stuff broke him ever.
Yeah.
And I hear a lot of people say stuff like his old coach, that he's not a fighter. He never had a real fight. What's that fool's name?
Oh, yeah. Teddy Atlas.
Teddy Atlas, okay.
Yeah.
Teddy Atlas, shut the fuck up.
Well,
he's been fighting in life for his whole life.
He has a vendetta against him because some drama.
Because he needs help, bro.
Yeah, he has a whole nother beef with him outside of that, but
that's kind of what made him famous, was all the shit that he said about Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
So you should be thanking Mike Tyson. You should be fucking getting on your knees and kissing his feet, because without him you wouldn't be anything.
That's funny. But yeah, I mean, there was an interview that he had when they talk about when his daughter passed away. I think she was 4 years old. And it was like a freak accident where she died on a treadmill. Like the cord got stuck on her neck and she died. And he says that when he was in the hospital, he wanted to kill everybody. He said he just wanted to fucking murder the cops and whoever was there, and he just wanted to just destroy everything, destroy the world, and he didn't give a fuck about anything. And then he said that he started looking at all the other parents that were there, because there was other parents in the ER, and he said why am I any different? They're suffering too. They're losing their kids too. Why should I cause more suffering to them? So he kind of calmed himself down from going into a freaking rampage. And I think he's still, we're all human. So I'm sure he's still affected deeply by a lot of the things that he's suffered through. But understanding that we are all in one way or another suffering makes us human.
Yeah.
That's where I connect everything to is when you realize, hey, we're all in this together, so why go out and cause more pain to someone?
Yeah.
It's not going to help you. You're not going to feel any better. And the other person, you're just causing more pain for no reason, so that's part of the forgiveness that we talked about earlier in the podcast is finding peace within yourself, within your demons, and forgiving everyone that has caused you harm in the past.
Yeah, but forgiveness is like, if it's for me, it's not for nobody else.
Yeah.
Like if I'm gonna forgive somebody, it's for me. Like I'm not gonna forgive anybody to make them feel better. I'm gonna do it because it's coming from me.
Yeah. I've been down that road.
Yeah.
It was tough, dude. It's not easy.
No, it's not.
Especially when you know that you have been done wrong. There's some times where bad things happen to you, like, I deserve that. I did something stupid, like I probably deserve that. But when you're a victim, it's I don't like ever calling myself a victim. But sometimes stuff happens in your life when you are. Right now, and we live out here in LA, bro. You go down to LA, you could just be walking and shit, and some hobo's just gonna stab you in the neck for no reason.
Yeah,
you're technically a victim. You did nothing wrong. He said, "Why'd that guy stab you?" Like, I don't know. I was just victimized. Yeah. And forgiving someone like that just did you harm for no reason, other than he was angry or he was just in a fit of rage and just took it out on whoever was there. And this happens every day.
How do you forgive somebody for that?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's so difficult to forgive someone when you know that you were wronged. Like, damn, that's messed up, man. I didn't do anything. Why did they treat me that way?
Maybe if you try to put yourself in their shoes and understand them.
That's one of the things that I had to do, when I was wronged, is I had to understand, and the cool thing is that I choose the understanding.
Yeah.
I can say, well, they did that because of this, and I'm right because that's what I believe. Or I can say, well, they did that because of this, and I believe that because that's what I say. So we get to choose. We get to decide understanding. I no longer want an answer from the person that has wronged me because it doesn't matter to me. What matters is what I think and what I believe and the answers that I give myself, you know? And yes, you have to put yourself in their shoes and realize that, well, maybe I would have done the same thing in that situation. You know, maybe there were, I'm not talking about specifically the guy that stabs someone in the neck. you know, they might have schizophrenia. They might be on drugs. They might just be a psychopath. There are evil humans out there with psychological issues that, you know, unfortunately, they're just crazy. But someone that harms you knowing that they're doing wrong, there's other reasons behind it, you know, and that's part of the
I just try to understand that hurt people. So those people decided since they're hurt, they want to hurt you. And it's like, well, all right. Well, I mean, that's your fault. You know, you hurt me. You lost me. I didn't lose you. Yeah. Like, shit, whatever.
That's the best revenge, brother, is not to be like your enemy. I actually put that quote up the other day.
It's not that's really not hard for me too. It's because I think I have so much respect for myself where I know I'm not going to stoop that low and do it to somebody else. Although maybe it does cross my mind, but then I have so much fear for God that I just don't do it. I don't want to, you know. I care about myself so much. I want to be the best version of myself, and maybe I'll make some mistakes. Obviously, I will, but whatever. You just got to keep going.
That's one thing that I wanted to talk to you about. I also remembered this is how do you balance that between, you know, having this thought process and then being a fighter? Because when you go into the ring, you know, you become vicious. You become a person that wants to hurt, wants to inflict pain, wants to win at whatever the outcome is. Obviously, you're not killing the person, but part of you is like, I'm going to do whatever it takes to win. And one of the questions that I had for you is, how do you get into that state of mind? Because talking to you here, Tony Cortez, on the Dreams to Reality podcast, sitting down in that chair, is a different form of Tony Cortez than when you're in the ring, in the octagon, fighting an opponent. Look at them. I've seen your eyes. I've seen you, you know, in your fighting state. It's a different person. Do you do that consciously? Is there a process that you go through in your head, or do you have a ritual that you do behind the stage to get into that? Or is it just, you know, you don't really think about it and you just do it? What is your thought process behind that?
So I think it's actually conscious. What I'm doing is I start to get in a really mean state of mind where I'll do anything. Like, I don't care. Like, I'll really fuck somebody up, like, really bad. And I start to get angry. I start to make myself angry. And then, sorry, what was the question again?
Do you consciously do something to get into that fighter state, or is it unconscious? Like, you don't even think about it and you just get in the stage. And it's interesting that you say that, because I consciously do things to get upset in the gym sometimes. Like, when I'm about to lift really heavy weight, I think about something that upset me and I use that energy. Yeah. And I was telling you that recently I've been doing rituals to get into the right state of mind for the thing that I'm doing. Like in the gym, it starts when I drive up to the gym. Is I'm getting into the gym, I'm listening to certain music that is pumping me up. Yeah. And then when I park, I leave my car on, and then I start to go into my mind and I start to visualize the workout that I'm going to do. You know, like, I'll be like, all right, today I'm doing chest and triceps, and I visualize, okay, I'm going to warm up doing this, and my goal is to do this and that. And in my head, I'm visualizing myself doing the exercises. And then as I get out of the car and I'm walking up, I start to walk a little faster into the gym. I realize that. And, you know, I have my energy drink or my pre-workout or whatever. I fucking chug it. I don't even know if it's working anymore. I drink so much caffeine, it probably does nothing to me. But psychologically, like, I'm like, this is part of my ritual, is chugging this energy drink. And then I get onto the weights, and when I'm lifting really, really heavy, I get really pumped up, and I purposely make myself angry. and I, it might seem crazy sometimes, but, you know, I tell myself if I don't do this, I'm going to die. You know, like if I don't lift this weight, I'm going to die. Or if I don't lift this, you know, this person won, whoever like did me wrong or something. You're like, it's all in my head.
And you're like, ah.
Yeah, dude. And I get really fucking like, I look like pissed off when I'm working out. Like, no, I don't talk to no one in the gym. Like I have my headphones on and I'm like focused and I'm freaking working out. And I see that in a lot of sports, people have rituals. Like if you ever see, specifically baseball players, they're freaking crazy. They have like all these superstitions and shit. They have to like tap their feet a certain amount of times or do certain things or chew a certain gum or do certain, they're like very superstitious. But that was my question for you is like, do you do certain things to get into that freaking mode?
So consciously, I listen to a certain type of music to get me into a certain mood.
Yeah.
And like the lyrics, I put that into my fight where that's what I want to do to the person. And then unconsciously, I get really angry before my fights. Like when I don't have a fight, I love my dog. She doesn't annoy me at all.
Yeah.
When I have a fight, her barking makes me so mad. I'm like, shut up. Like I get so mad, bro.
Yeah, and you don't even know why.
Cause I'm just like, I'm so fucking like I'm ready to go. Like I just want to fight right now.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. I want to fight right fucking now. I want.
Yeah.
And so that's the unconscious thing that I actually learned about myself recently, because after my fight, I went to my dog and I was like, oh, I love you so much. And then it hit me. I was like, dang, before my fight, I didn't even let her go in my bed. I was like, no, I was like, you stink. I was like, get out of here. Like, I'm all angry and shit. So, yeah, so it's like, I guess it's unconscious, but I'm conscious of it now, trying to control it. But, so I feel like we all, as humans, have a darkness and a light to us, right?
Yeah.
Like we have negative traits and positive traits. And when it comes to fighting, I put all my negative energy into my fight, which I'm starting to learn how to not do that, not use anger in my fights or none of that, because I used to think that I needed that to win my fight.
Yeah.
I needed that. I want to kill this fool.
Yeah.
But now it's changing where I'm letting go of that trauma that I went through, and it's more of like a strategic thing for me now.
Yeah.
And I feel like the wins are just gonna come easier, because it's not like I don't care if I kill you or if I don't, but we're gonna fight and we're gonna see what happens. And I just feel like a real assassin now, bro. Like like so tactful, like no emotion, just pure skill, pure determination. Like I'm going in there, I'm just gonna do the best that I'm gonna do, and I'm trying to kill you, but in a tactful way.
Yeah, it's more skill based now than just straight rage.
Yeah, but it's like I'm using my anger in a smart way. Like at certain
focused.
I'm here and I'm fighting and I'm waiting, and then boom, and then that's like when the anger comes out, where I'm gonna rip his face off, and then it goes away again, and I'm thinking and I'm moving and I'm feeling and I'm looking at his shoulders and I'm feeling how strong he is, how strong he hits, and I'm like, okay, this guy, nah, he can't beat me. And then it's like, oh, he's gonna try to take me down. Well, I'm gonna stuff his face into the mat. And then it's like I stuff his face in the mat. I'm like, and then when he gets up, I'm back to normal again. Yeah. And I'm looking at him and I'm watching, and then he shoots and it's like boom, and I hit him with that uppercut. Yeah. And then it's like that anger comes out again. But I see it as like poetry in motion, because every punch and every slam, everything that I do is all the frustration and things that I felt in my life growing up, where I get to express it in front of everybody, all my rage, everything that I want to change in the world, all the people that I want to help. I'm going to destroy this guy in front of me, and nobody's going to fucking stop me. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking when I'm in there.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, so it's literally a hyper-focused, all of that suffering, rage, anger is super focused into that one punch or into that one stuff or into that one whatever you're doing. Yeah, it's like that's what it is. It's a laser focus. You know, it's like the sun. You know, it can light up the whole world, you know, but if you take that energy and you focus it into a tiny little laser beam, that shit could cut through steel, could cut through anything.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what you're doing. And that's exactly what a punch is taking all of the energy from the ground up, from your hips, from everything, all energy and motion, like you said. It's a poetry, because it's a beautiful thing when you see a perfect punch land with like precision, power, force, energy. It's such a beautiful thing. And people might be like, what the hell, like a punch is beautiful? Like, to me, it is. When you hit them like just with the right knuckles in the right spot with the right, it's just like perfect, you know?
Yeah,
that's why everybody loves a knockout, because it's precision, it's speed, it's power, all with the right timing at the right, with everything comes in and then bah,
perfection.
It's perfection, you know? So I respect that, and I love that shit too, man. But
even with chokes, you get a choke on somebody, you get a leg lock, they made a big mistake, and now they're suffering from it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with the choke, at least, you know, they pass out and stuff, and they don't realize what happened to them. But when you get punched in the face, well, actually, no, you can get knocked out. Well, check this out.
If the ref wasn't there and I held on to the choke, I'm breaking this fool's neck straight up. If the ref was not there in that fight, I'm breaking this guy's neck. If I knock a guy out and he's knocked out, I'm not going to stop hitting him if the ref isn't there. I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to keep going. I'm going to hold that choke, and I'm going to feel his neck crack and just and then now what?
Well, good thing there's a ref in that fight, bro.
Yeah, because if there wasn't a ref, I would be doing what I do. So
you're a beast, brother. But
Thank you.
I appreciate you again for coming on the show. You know, you're always welcome anytime. You know, I'm looking forward to you starting your path on the pro circuit, and seeing your career grow and blossom, and seeing what's come to next, man. So again, if anybody wants to sponsor Tony, any companies out there, I'm going to connect you with my buddy Theo at End Overdose, because I know that's something that you're passionate about, is you know, spreading awareness of drug overdose, specifically with fentanyl. And that's what he does, you know, so I'll connect with him. And, you know, I know a lot of different people that are business owners. If you guys are out there watching and want to support Tony and his growth as a professional mixed martial artist, reach out to him. You can find him on Instagram. What's your IG handle again?
Tony Cortez MMA.
Tony Cortez MMA. Thanks again, guys.
I want to say something real quick.
Go ahead, brother.
I know I preach a lot about love and this and that, and then I go in there and fight. But I just want to say that I'm a warrior. I'm a warrior of God. I'm a warrior of light. And I do this for good. And I'm a warrior, you know? You guys know what a warrior is. And man, if you get in that cage with me, I'm ready to do whatever it takes to win. I'm ready to kill or be killed. And I'm not dying no time soon.
That's a perfect way to end it, brother. See you guys next time.